All right. Okay. Looks like we're live. I'm about to leave. I'll be right back. Go get some water. I'll be back. I'll be back. All right. Let's get the gram set up. Booyah. All right. All right. All right. Welcome. 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 IG in the house. Facebook in the house. X in the house. YouTube in the house. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Assalamu alaikum. Pray all is well. Pray all is well. Today is Saturday. We back at it again. We back at it again, brothers and sisters. Back at it again to talk about the money game. Can't get tired of talking about the money game, brothers and sisters. Not if you're trying to win and dominate. The money game, so black people can win and dominate. If you don't have my book, brothers and sisters, get my book today. Scared money don't make money, as they say in the streets. It is true. Get my book. Go to themoneygamebook.com. Put your name and email address. You get 2 free gifts. The next page, you'll be able to order the book. But you need to go to that website. That way I can get your email address. I can get your contact information, and we can stay in contact. Because when it comes to winning and dominating everything, or anything, I should say, it's not a hobby. It's not something you do in your pastime. It's not something you do when you feel like it. It's not something that you procrastinate in doing. It's a way that you do it. It's to how you do it. It's when you do it. It's everything if you're planning to win and dominate. And I'm of the belief, brothers and sisters, a lot of us start off saying we want to win and dominate, but we default to not winning and dominating as we aspired to initially, because it's always more difficult than what you and I perceive it to be. That's why the scripture says, with ignorance comes bliss. Bliss is happiness, euphoric happiness, because you don't know that you shouldn't be so happy. All right. So that's what happens to most of us, right? A child starts off wanting to be an astronaut, wanting to be a president, wanting to be a scientist, want to be these lofty things, but their environment and circumstances kills that dream. And so we grow up to be adults. And sometimes we'll have that excitement again. Oh, I want to be a real estate investor. I want to do this. I want to start my own business. But then we get involved, and it's more difficult than what we thought. And we're not in the right environment, supportive environment. We're not around other people that are successful in entrepreneurship, successful in investing, successful as a real estate investor, or whatever it is, Forex trader, currencies trader, option trader, doesn't matter. Most of us are in the environment of average, of above average, but not really at the level of excellence, to where it's everything surrounding us. Everything, meaning majority of the time, is excellence. It's ambiance. It's reflecting excellence. All right. So that's why this book is so very important, brothers and sisters, because it talks about winning and dominating. Winning and dominating. And I learned over my 40 years on this journey that you're either growing or you're dying. There is no maintaining. I'm good. See, that's a farce. You may be good now, but let the circumstances change and you're not good all of a sudden, and you can't react fast enough to stay good because you didn't plan properly. We didn't have the right mindset, right? You see the reason why those strive to win and dominate because they know that circumstances are going to happen. They know things are going to happen that's unexpected, or even things that they expect happen, but to a greater degree. So they need enough room. They need enough cushion. They need enough, as they say in Louisiana, New Orleans, they need enough lanyap. They need enough gap to absorb what they think might happen, and even to an extreme. That's why when somebody says financially I'm good, and I don't know what that means to them, but you don't know how good is. You don't know how much you need. So you need to have way more than what you think you need in case of an emergency. If they tell you 3 to 6 months, they say 6 months of reserve to pay all your bills, then you need to have 2, 3, 4, 5 years. See, that means you're prepared to pay the same. See, once again, the expenses doesn't change for the next 4 or 5 years. You got that covered. But what happens if the expenses change and change drastically? Now that 4 or 5 years savings come down to 2 to 3 to 2 years. See, so now your time gets cut in half. See, that's why the mentality, brothers and sisters, because I remember when I was a stockbroker, I remember looking at the screen and looking up accounts. And see, I had access to everybody's account in the system. So we got these guys from Enron and different major corporations. I look up, just put their name in there, and their accounts came up over at Dean Witter, now Morgan Stanley. And I'm looking at millions and millions of dollars. And of course, that's the buzz, and it was talked about. So I looked it up, and they said, oh, yeah, that's only one of his accounts. He has accounts with millions of dollars in another brokerage firm. And the thought came to my mind. I said, why are these people with millions on top of millions on top of millions? You're talking about racks on top of racks, million on top of millions on top of millions of dollars. And they're still out here on the grind, grinding harder than most of us who don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because just think about it, brothers. Outside of your annual income, what do we have of assets? What do we have as a source of income? You cannot have one income, I don't care how much it is, and you say you're playing to win and dominate. See, only people who don't know any better will say, "Ooh, you make $250,000 as a doctor. Oh man, you balling." But those who know better, who understand, like you understand how to play chess, you might not be a chess master, but you understand how to play chess. So when you understand how to play the money game to win and dominate, so you don't become so easily impressed, because you know there's more than what meets the eye, as the saying goes. So you don't take nothing away from it, right? You don't be cynical and negative and demeaning. It is what it is. Oh man, that's a nice car. Range Rover. Ooh man, pound up. Man, that's nice. I want one of those. And that's it. You don't get into, all this other kind of stuff, because there's always more than that. There's more than what meets the eye when you're playing to win and dominate, when you have a winning and dominate mindset. So you got to have the mindset before you have the skill set, right? Before you can have what you set out for. See, that's what you have to understand. So it takes you years to develop the mind. It will take you years to develop the mindset to win and dominate, especially if you're coming from such a far distance. See, that's why I said on the back of my book, we have to be like the Jewish people who use their unique suffering as leverage to empower themselves, empower their generation, to get sympathy from the world, to help them to prevent that from ever happening again. Now, we receive the worst treatment. Ex-slaves, slaves of America, received the worst treatment of anybody in the history of the annals of time. So we have to use that to empower ourselves. We have to use that to empower our children to be excellent as a standard, and to understand these are the pieces that have enslaved us. These are the institutions that are enslaved, continue to enslave us. We have to control those institutions. That's what they do. That's winning and dominating. And this is a book that's written with that spirit, with that objective in mind. And unless there's another book written by a black person, a black man, former stockbroker for 2 major Wall Street firms, real estate investor, mentor, coach, entrepreneur, marketing, sales, expert, professional, whatever you want to call it, in the Nation of Islam, 32 years, have written a book with that theme and spirit, then you don't have a book like it out in the marketplace. You don't, because I'm in that space. I've been in that space 40 years. I don't buy all the books, but I stay aware. I'm conscious of what's out there. So the money game, so we can win and dominate. And think about it, brothers and sisters, see, we got to stop looking for that majority. When it comes to winning and dominating, there's no majority. You're talking about being a minority. There's what, 1% of the world population controls 95% of the assets. That's a small percentage, 1%. So don't look for, I can't get my brother and my sister, my cousin. That's because it's the few that affects the masses. So you and I just have to determine if I want to be one of those few. Do I want to be that one in my family? That one in my family of all your brothers and sisters, all your niece and nephew, all your grandchildren. You're the one. You're the one. And that can only happen if you have the mindset to win and dominate at this game right here. At the money game. All right. So that's what you're going to get in this book. This is why you should get it. See, when you understand the value of something, the value of anything is based on its rarity. See, it's a mindset. It's rarity. Which for the masses of the people has little to no value to you. It has great value for the ones that is giving you the masses, the mass education, the mass food, the mass religion, the mass everything. See, once you understand, brothers and sisters, then you reject it. As Jesus told his disciples, say, get ye behind me, Satan. Or he told one of his disciples that. All right. And then you move differently. You're moving from a level of understanding. You're not hoodwinked and bamboozled, right? You don't get caught up. And I mentioned in the book about the shiny object syndrome. You run over here because that's popular. You run over here because this is popular. You run over there because you can make money fast over there. See, can win and dominate with that kind of mindset. So real quick, because I only got about 5 minutes. So every time we come Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I want to pull just something out of the book. It's 200 pages, 19 chapters, 1 bonus chapter. Each chapter is broken up into subsections, right? So it can be with concept, one concept, boom, one concept, boom. Explain so you can have, so it can retain in your mind a whole lot faster and a whole lot easier than a long drawn out process. This is to prick your conscience. This is to pull back the curtain so you can see there's more to it. There's a whole lot more to it. And then you can choose if you want to go down, as they say, that rabbit hole. So chapter 12, the chapter is called Consumer versus Investor. And the part I want to cover real quick is called Consumers Are Killers. Now you have to go back and read. It's on page 110. Consumers are killers. Consumers are killers. So there's 2 ideas that comes underneath that. Consumers are killers. Because brothers and sisters, when you earn money just to consume, not to save and invest, just to primarily consume, without a conscious plan and effort, without being intentional on your savings and investing, intentional. This money is being saved for, that's intentional, versus this money, I'm just putting it over there, no certain percentage amount. per paycheck. I just throw a little something over there every now and then. That's not intentional enough. You never win and dominate anything being unintentional. Nobody has big muscles not intending to want big muscles if they go to the gym. All right? Makes sense? Absolutely, it makes sense. It has to make sense. It has to make sense. You have to break it down so you can understand. So consumers are killers. What do you mean? What? That's a strong language, right? It captures your attention. Now, what do you mean? What I mean is when you save zero money, when you save zero money, then the money you spend, it doesn't come back to you. The money you spend dies. The money you spend no longer serves you. It serves someone else. It lives in someone else's pocket. But you have to replace that dollar every month. And so there is the rat race. There is the hamster wheel, right? Because every time you earn $1 spinach, you got to go back and earn it again for the same thing. Water, gas, food, shelter. Water, gas, food, shelter. Water, gas, food, shelter. Now, we're not judging it. You have to live. We have to live. You have to live. But I'm telling you, see, you have to go back and get new money. Well, what happened to that last money you spent on the light bill? It's gone. It's dead. It has no opportunity to come back to me multiplied. And that's how you begin to start playing to win and dominate. That's just the beginning. But it first comes up here that I'm a consumer. All I do, my money doesn't live long. You've heard the saying, the dollar in the black community circulates minutes. It stays in the black community minutes. We say black community because it don't circulate among us because we don't have enough businesses. It circulates in our community, but we're not the business owners in our community. So that even has some depths of understanding that we need to unpack. So in our community, minutes before it leaves back out. Other community, Asian community, days. And they own the businesses in their community. See, when you unleash this thinking, right, release our minds of this mass information that we've been given over the years about money and have a bigger picture, bigger idea, because you can only want what you can comprehend. You can only understand what you can comprehend in your mind. You can only understand the information that you have received. You got bad information, you can understand that. You can learn how to understand the bad information. But if you have good information, empowering information, then that information you can understand, and it will release the power within it to the extent that we understand and apply that superior knowledge. But producers, they understand, I'm going to put this money somewhere where it compounds. I'm going to put this money somewhere where it grows. I'm going to invest this money, take a chance, there's risk involved, put this money somewhere that has a high mathematical probability. The mathematical probability of success outweighs the mathematical probability of its failure. So we have to understand that we're killers if all we do with 99.9% of our income we spend. We're not intentional on saving it. We're not intentional on investing in it. We're not intentional on, okay, I need to understand we all are consumers because we got to live. But I want to be more and more of a producer, meaning I need to have the mentality. I need to have the understanding that I need to save some more of my money than what I'm killing every month to replace every month. I need to take some of that and intentionally set it to the side with intentional things to do with it once it gets to a certain amount. And in the meantime, I'm better understanding my thinking on how to win and dominate at the money game. All right, brothers and sisters, I hope that makes sense. If not, play back, listen to it again. Repetition is the mother of learning. I got to be on another Zoom in the next 5 minutes. So I had to be consistent. I had to come. I almost forgot about it. But hey, the show must go on. All right. Remember, speaking of the show, all right, May 12th, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Go to YouTube and type in Closing the Gap. Subscribe to that network because the Money Game Live, the Money Game will have its own show on Closing the Gap Broadcast Network. Praise be to Allah. So we'll be able to expound on this concept twice a month, starting May 12th. I know that's Mother's Day weekend. It's going to be a short show. Come in just to, take care of all the technicalities and the shows and get it up and just say hello and, greetings and tell you a little bit about the book and about the show. It'll be about an hour long, and then we'll have our guest the next show. We had our plan to come in this time, but somebody reminded me it's Mother's Day. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. So we want to make sure we get the best turnout for our first guest. All right. So go there. That starts May 12th, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Closing the Gap Broadcast Network on YouTube. Go there, subscribe, hit the notification. So when we come on live each and every time, you'll be able to be notified. And if you're on my email list, you'll stay abreast that way as well. How do you get on my email list? Good question. Go to themoneygamebook.com. You get 2 free gifts there, an audio of the Money Game, a lecture that I did about the Money Game, so you can get an idea of the concept of what I mean when I say the Money Game. And then the second free gift, within the next 30 to 60 days, we're going to have a live Zoom where we're going to talk about the book. We're going to ask questions, anything you want to know, expounding on concepts and ideas about the book, concepts in the book. That's going to come within the next 30 to 60 days. But you got to be on the list. That's going to be private to those that's on the list. All right. So that being said, brothers and sisters, thank you for your time. Who's that right there? Best Shower Soap and Kalila. Assalamu alaikum, sister. All right. As always, brothers and sisters, thank you for being here. Leave me some comments so we can respond. Right? If you're playing to win and dominate, you don't sit in the bleachers with your favorite uniform jersey on. You get out on the field. That's the only way you can win and dominate. You have to be on the field. You have to participate. All right. So leave some comment, share the stream. See you, God willing, Tuesday. And as always, we'll see you at the top, not from the top, because you, your family, but most importantly, our Black community deserve your and my very best. All right. I'm out.